Hi everyone. I know it's been a while. So there is a lot of different energies happening for the collective. A lot of us are seeing this play out in so many ways, and it's pretty intense. Go ahead and share this video if you can. Of course, if you need to share it in a group, make sure you have permission to do that. I don't want people to be offended if a video is being shared in their group and that violates their group rules. Hi guys! Okay, so we're just gonna have a quick chat. We're gonna talk about the energies, and I'm gonna share some insights about the division that we are all seeing everywhere in our own lives, okay? Hi, everyone. All right, so go ahead and share this video if you can, please. So I know I haven't been on since I got back from Mexico. By the way, that was like the most incredible thing ever. If you guys haven't done a shamanic journey, and if you're interested in shamanism or being a shaman or doing natural healing or even learning about ancient Mesoamerican traditions and all that good stuff, I highly recommend you do that. I know my teacher, he is going to have another one this spring, and I have the details already pinned to my page right here. He's going to be doing a universal shamanic information regarding the 12 universal energies, and it's a very enlightening. It is very much going back to basics. You stay in the desert. Either you camp or you stay in a dome, an individual dome, and you're sleeping right on the mother, and it's a very beautiful experience, and I highly recommend it for everybody. So yeah, so we're going to talk about why it is important to, hold on, let me block somebody. Block. You have perverted people on here. All right. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, out in the wild, exactly, George. So that is something I really recommend to everybody. It's a humbling experience too. You don't have the luxuries that you have here in the States. You go into the desert and you are there in nature, and you connect thoroughly with the nature spirits and the ancestors of the land and all that beautiful energy. So I highly recommend it if you guys really truly desire to take a trip to find your own path, and if it's not shamanism, it's okay, as long as you take it, and you will find it. You will feel very much empowered towards the direction of being of service for humanity. So let's talk about the energies that's been happening since after the new year. And it's so funny because a lot of people think, oh my god, it's a new year, new me, it's going to be great energies and all this stuff. Well, yes and no. and it's because collectively speaking, there is a lot of things coming to the surface that need to be acknowledged. Okay, there's still a lot of division within the community, within our world. Okay, there's still a lot of people behaving as if they want to control certain people, and this is happening all over. It's not just in the spiritual community, it's happening in our politics, it's happening everywhere in society. You probably see it in your own family structure where there's always somebody trying to control somebody else, and so all this good stuff. But the thing with that is it needs to be acknowledged, for one. Okay, we need to acknowledge the fact that it's still happening. Doesn't mean we have to engage with it full head, but we at least need to try to figure out why we're still seeing it. Okay, that's internal work happening right there. I know I've seen it so many times within the spiritual community, and it's just, you know, you get to the point you're just like, come on. You're just like, really? Like, come on. You start to question it while you're even seeing it still, right? So I know I've been posting lately about truthfulness and about like all of the stuff that's going on, because I'm trying to help people understand that it's still happening, that we need to be more aware, that we need to be more empowered and not rely heavily on other people to dictate or to lead us towards a path that is an individual road for them, not for us, okay? And that's the whole point of this. If it feels wrong, if you have an initial intuition regarding somebody that you are observing online, or you've had communication with in your personal life offline, if you have an initial gut feeling about this person, that there's something going on that's off, or you feel belittled, or you feel unworthy, or you feel that whole I guess you could say the feeling that you or they're making you feel that you are not even worthy of being in their presence, I would say go with your gut, go with your initial intuition, because they are definitely reflecting that. There's something within you that needs to be healed regarding that as well, okay? And so then if you start to reflect and you start asking yourself, why do I feel this way about this person? Why am I feeling like I'm unworthy? Why am I feeling like being in their presence makes me feel this small? Or the words that they say makes me feel this small, or I'm doing something wrong? Then trust that gut feeling and disengage. And then go within and ask yourself, what is going on internally within me that is showing me a mirror of this and my external world? Okay, so that's what it is. And another thing about these energies is figuring it out that you need to empower yourself, okay? You need to trust yourself more, okay? Then you won't fall into these cycles. You won't fall into this sort of ego trap, okay? Where the same thing happens with when we, for example, the whole R. Kelly thing that's going on. It's been going on for ages, you guys. This guy is a master manipulator, a master cult, mental, like he is just bad for business, like bad for the world, okay? But how does he get people to do what he wants? We have to look at the psychology of that. He is able to do this because nobody's telling him that he's doing anything wrong. Everybody around him are yes people. Oh, you're not doing anything wrong. We're going to protect you. We're going to tell the media that that is not true. And you're not doing anything wrong to these women. And then the women that he is abusing, some of them are not healed, and they're falling for it because he builds them up first, right? First he says, oh, I need you. Oh, I do this, I do that, you know, whatever. Very beautiful words, building them up because he was a celebrity at one point, you know, and supposedly he had money and all this stuff. So they want to be in the limelight like him, right? So he does this, that he manipulates them, where he builds them up, and then after a while, they see the real deal abuse. So that's the same thing with people besides R. Kelly. He's the extreme version of this. But the people in the spiritual community who do the same thing with the cult mentality, where they build you up, they tell you and they praise you and they say, oh, we're so much the same, we're so much alike, and oh, I love this about you, and da 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 da. And then when you are not falling into their agenda, when you are refusing to listen to them or to comply with everything that they're telling you, or you actually have your own intuition and you actually tell them how you really feel, then they go and ridicule you and they try to like crucify you in public, right? So that's what's happening. There's no difference in what these people are doing that other cult people do to people, okay? And that's why they get these people to listen to them, okay? Again, beautiful words can really, really, really assist with manipulation, all right? So be careful with that. And the thing with that, another thing with that is because we as a society are looking for somebody to follow, and that's not how it's supposed to be. We should look at ourselves to follow our own path and follow our own guidance, you know? And a lot of people are like, well, how do we do that? Well, you can easily find information online. That's the beauty of the internet, you guys, is that there's all kinds of information at your fingertips. You could easily Google like ancient wisdom, ancient tablets, or you know, ancient teachings and stuff like that, and read and get that knowledge for yourself. Or you can trust somebody that you won't have negative intuition about when you barely meet them, and ask them questions. Ask them like, hey, you know, I have this feeling about X, Y, and Z. They shouldn't be able to, okay, so this is how it goes. If they're really genuinely wanting to help you, they will guide you towards the information that you already know intuitively, okay? They will highlight that because I know you just need confirmation, and that's beautiful. They won't make you feel little. They won't make you feel like you don't know anything, all right? Because you really, truly do, okay? And so that's what's going on in this energy right now, that we're seeing the rise of the ones that want to hold this matrix of control, of duality, of us against them, division, of I'm better than you mentality, the ego trap around. You know, they still want to hold it up. And our purpose is to transmute that and to build the world that we truly want, which is an equal amount of knowledge for all, and not to make it seem like, okay, they know more than I do, and so now I'm following them. That's not what it's all about, you guys. It's about individuality in the spiritual path, okay? It is okay to have friends that are here to assist you, but if it gets to the point where you guys are not assisting each other, where you guys are more like pulling each other down, then it's time to reassess that friendship, and it's time to make a choice for yourself. Either you keep on this road with them and go down with them, like going down with the ship, or you realize what's really going on and what's really holding you back, and you say, I've had enough. I'm done with this. I'm choosing my own path now. I'm choosing to learn this as a lesson, to always trust myself before anybody else, and move on. That's what's really going on. And that's what we see everywhere in society with our leaderships, like people that are out in the media. They try to manipulate our thoughts. They try to tell us that we don't know anything. They try to belittle us. They try to insult us by not telling us the truth, what's really going on. They misdirect us. They misdirect our focus. Instead of focusing internally, we focus externally, okay, on the drama, okay? So that's what I want to talk to you guys about, that be mindful of this. This happens all the time, okay? People would rather keep up with the Kardashians than to keep themselves built up. Yeah, it's true, George. It is. It is. Thank you, Tara. That's probably the angels because I always call them in before I go live and stuff. And you know, when I taught you guys in the academy about maintaining your medicine wheel, it's for everything. Use that for every single thing. That's what I do. But yeah, you guys, it is all about the self-discovery. This is about understanding yourself and what is mirroring outside of you. Okay. And I, for one, are one of the many people out there who will call BS when it comes to somebody misleading somebody else. I'm not saying names or anything like that. I'm just saying that I'm going to be like, okay, why is this happening? First of all, why are people out there, you know, smearing somebody's beliefs? For one, why are people trying to control what other people do in the spiritual sense? Why are people saying that ancient wisdom, stuff that's been around before society was ever created, natural healing, you know, energetic healing like shamanism is evil? Why are they saying that to begin with? Because in truth and reality, anything that comes from Mother Earth that has been around for a millennia before society ever begun or even was, you know, constructed, how is it evil if it's been working for such a long time? If it actually helps people, if it empowers people, how could it be evil? That's why I'm here to call BS. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say names because there's tons of people that do this, tons, hundreds, maybe even thousands that people that do this, that manipulate the situation to their favor, that are out there seeking popularity, money somehow through trying to manipulate others into believing something's evil when it's not. Okay. And that for them might be their reality. That might be exactly what they're seeing, but they don't realize that if they're seeing it, it's because internally they have wounds that they haven't healed. Internally, they have a limiting belief that is being manifested in front of them. But instead of them realizing that, instead of them realizing, hey, what do I have to do to stop this? What do I have to do to stop the suffering, to stop the manipulation games, to stop seeing what I'm seeing that looks evil? They, instead of doing that, they project it. They bleed all over people. Their wounds are open, wide open, and they bleed all over everybody else. They try to expand their reality bubbles to engulf everyone else that is watching them, that is talking to them, that's interacting with them. And that needs to be something that we need to be aware of, okay? We need to see the wounds that are happening. We need to see that, hey, that's what they're doing, is that they are unhealed. Therefore, they are lashing out. Therefore, they're manipulating situations. Therefore, they're saying this or that derogatory stuff about ancient wisdom, talking about spiritual techniques, healing modalities that have nothing to do with evil. When you really learn about energy healing, when you really actually sit in nature and talk to nature's spirits and talk to your guides and receive counsel from Mother Earth, you will see that no type of energy healing could ever be manipulated by dark forces. You will see that the intention of healing is simply that, an intention to heal. And that's coming from within your heart center. And whoever is giving you that healing, the intention is heart-centered, is unconditional love from you and from the other person that is assisting you with the healing, as well as the connection to source. Nothing can ever harm you when you have the intention to heal yourself, or for the practitioner to heal you. Okay, nothing can ever be manipulated. The only thing that can be manipulated is the ego mind setting intention to make you feel that it is evil, make you afraid. Okay, so that is the only thing that could ever get in the way of true healing, that is a God-given gift for all. That is the only thing, is our own ego gets in the way. Okay. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because it's a very important subject. Yeah, a controlled opposition is exactly right. What's happening, George? That's exactly what's happening. Yeah, and so I will, and I'm going to say it right now, every single healing modality that you guys are practicing is pure. It is God-given. Everything that has a heart-centered, unconditional love of wanting to help humanity heal is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. That's the biggest love that you can provide to the world, you guys. That is absolutely beautiful thing, to want to help heal others, you know, and it's not, the only way it's perverted is through our ego, when we instill fear of it, when we ourselves think, oh my God, that's evil. That's when it gets perverted. That's when we then vibrate at that frequency of that initial, you know, evil entity. And then we see it. We see it everywhere. We see it on people. We see it outside of our field. We see it everywhere constantly, because we are vibrating at that frequency. We have created that through our own beliefs, through our own limited fear-based beliefs. And so it is manifested to teach us that we need to be mindful, that we need to rise above that frequency, and that we need to empower ourselves and know that whatever that is cannot touch us. It cannot harm us. It has no way of infiltrating unless we allow it, unless our mind is so fearful that we allow it, we allow that experience to happen. And again, we are the ones that control it. So if that's happening, why is it happening? That's why looking within is key. That's why taking accountability for our energy, our thoughts, and our wounds is important. Okay? Let's see. Let's read some comments. I love you too, Maria. Energy vamps. Yeah, if we allow energy vampires to, you know, into our field, then they're gonna keep coming into our field. That's why it's important for us to be mindful of our thoughts, you know, and our energy as well. What are we allowing in our field? Why are we allowing it to begin with? You know, what are the lessons that we're learning from it? Okay. All right. You're welcome, Miranda. Arena has a good question. Do you think there's any correlation between ASMR and energy work? Yes, because Reina, what ASMR is doing, it is actually similar to the brain wave, like kind of like slowing your brain waves down. Just like when you listen to meditation that has like certain hertz frequencies and stuff like that. So it's making you relax. And it's definitely connected to that, because when you are in a state of relaxation, when you are really focused on connection and relaxing so that you can allow the connection to happen, then energy work is accomplished, right? That is how you can connect thoroughly through your crown chakra to the Most High or wherever you want to connect, you know? And so that's the only way a lot of people connect, is through relaxing the brain waves so they won't get in the way of your connection. All right. Miranda says that it was said that the healing modality left an open back door to our energy. If you believe that, a healing modality leads to being attacked, or a lower dimensional being or lower frequencies coming into your field, if you're really fearful of that because of the healing modality, because maybe somebody projected that onto you, you got to reassess that. You got to say, why am I afraid? Is it something that I learned from somebody, or is it already a fear within me about energy work, about my own intuitive gifts? Okay, because sometimes we have programs that we've been programmed since we were kids. Like if you were, for example, programmed to believe that the devil is gonna pull you down underneath the bed if you don't have, you know, your feet covered when you sleep. By the way, my aunt used to tell us this all the time, so that's why I'm using that as an example. If you believe that, then you're gonna be afraid, right? You're gonna be afraid. You're gonna be like, oh my God, my foot's exposed. I need to cover my feet because somebody's gonna pull my feet down and I'm gonna go underneath, you know, the bed. And so if you believe that, like really, really focus on that energy, then it can be manifested into your reality to teach you that you need to refocus, that you need to heal, that you need to remove that fear, and you need to go within and empower yourself, because no one's going to do the empowering for you. No one's going to do all that work for you. You have to do it for yourself. Okay. All right. Let's see. Emily says, not seeing enough, or sometimes any is breaking my heart though. I know, honey, and it's tough. It is tough because a lot of, and what I notice is a lot of people who are very heart-centered, who are very empathic, and are just here to love, tend to have those harsher lessons come up, because they still have that mentality of innocence in them, where they believe that everybody is love and light internally. Of course, there is love and light internally in everybody, but they try to make excuses for the ego that they see. You know, they try to make excuses for the people who are hurting people. And that's the one thing that we all need to learn to realize, that, hey, yeah, there are people who intentionally hurt people. There are people who intentionally instill fear in us. And we have to realize that it's a better thing to remove ourselves from those people and work on our unhealed wounds, because that's happening to us. Okay. Monica says, giving me mad chills, speaking from the heart. Yes, I am. I was like, like I have to say it because it's true, you guys. In my reality and what I perceive as any type of modality that will assist humanity ultimately in healing itself, that's pure, that's beautiful, and that's truly unconditional love right there. And I don't believe anything anybody else says that's otherwise than that. The only time it gets perverted, again, like I said before, is through the ego mindset of fear, instilling fear about a certain healing modality or a certain healer, because other people are benefiting from it, monetarily speaking, and followership speaking as well. Okay, it's business. That's, in their mind, it's all about business. It's just like a competition that we have in like different businesses. For example, Walmart and a small business owner. Walmart, being the big corporate, giant, will try to take over the pretty much everything, and then the small business owner is left with nothing, because everybody wants to shop at Walmart, because Walmart is probably like cheaper, or they're just taking over the community, you know. And so that's the same thing with these people, where because they have X, Y, and Z amount of followership, they believe that is their right to dictate who does what in the community, or how to control people's mind through manipulating them into thinking that everything is evil but them. Okay, that's a good lesson for all of us. Trust our intuition more, you know? All right. Let's see. Valerie says we can pull in low vibrational soul fragments into our space, but just as easy as we can attract it when we can remove it by taking back our power. For someone to say, I am the only one to remove this, well, that is a big ass lie. We assist as healers. We help you reclaim your power with empowerment. And that is so true, Valerie. The same thing in situations like that. Nobody can ever tell you that the way that you are doing your own self-healing is wrong. Nobody could ever tell you that they're the only ones who could do self-healing for you, or they're the only ones who could tap into certain frequencies and energies, because guess what? It is all universal. It is all creative force energy. Everything that is creation, everything that is source energy, it is open for all of us because we are a part of that creation. So no one can say that. That is a limiting belief. Okay, that is definitely catered to a business mindset about spirituality, where they'll try to, again, manipulate through trying to destroy somebody else's name, trying to make you feel belittled or not powerful enough to do this on your own. Okay, what the best thing for us to do as healers, as being facilitators of healing, is to teach what we know to whoever wants to learn, not to deny them that, not to pick and choose who's good enough for this teaching, because that's ridiculous too. That's creating competition, and in so many ways it's creating separation as well. Okay. Hi Cheryl. Hey Adriana. Yeah, it is. And it's funny, George, because I was watching today, what I was watching regarding that, what you just stated. George said something that is very true in my perspective. Fear is their fuel, their high. So think about it psychologically speaking, with people who are abusive towards other people, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it is. I call them emotional terrorists. They feel empowered through other people's suffering. It's like a fuel to them. It's like a high, like I am most powerful because I made somebody cry, or I am the most powerful because I control this person. This is something that internally is speaking volumes about what they need to heal. Maybe at one point in their life, they had somebody who was exactly like that in their life, who was exactly like that, who abused them verbally, abused them emotionally, abused them maybe even physically. And so that is a mirror, that they were disempowered for a very long time. And then when they gain a little bit of power in their mind or control over somebody, they relished in it. They sought more of it out, right? It's kind of like that situation with the bully at school. Maybe the bully was bullying them forever. And when they got out of school, they decided to become the bully themselves because they didn't heal that wound. Okay. And so that's the same thing that could happen. It's like somebody that probably was disempowered their entire life all of a sudden gets power, and they go mad with power, and they get high off of making other people suffer. And, and that's something that they need to heal within as well. Okay. And it's something we need to heal, those things that are that happen to us too. We need to heal that as well, so we won't continue that cycle. A lot of people think, well, you know, they should have chosen not to be that way. And it's true, because people who have been abused verbally, physically, or emotionally are like a majority of them choose not to be that way towards others because they know how that feels. And so they're choosing to heal themselves instead of doing that to other people. But again, there are the little minorities of those who haven't done it, who haven't done the healing work, and who are thriving off of other people's suffering. All right. Hi, Lotus. Cheryl's, have you been in a sweat lodge? Yes, Cheryl, I've been to. The sweat lodge ceremonies for the Toltec side of things are different. Like, it depends on who your the actual sweat lodge keeper is. Okay, whatever is built for that sweat lodge, whatever intention is made for that sweat lodge, because we built it ourselves, is what you're going to gain from it, what healing you're going to work on, and all that good stuff. So in Mexico, there's two types. There are, it's called, so there's like a kind of like a rectangular or a square type that's already a building, and it's called a temazcal. And so there, the temazcalero, which is the keeper of the sweat lodge, or the keeper of the temazcal, is the one that brings in the energies for the intention that we're having for that temazcal. So they gather the herbs, the sacred herbs. They gather the sacred, you know, energies and all that stuff, and then they teach you what you need to focus on, what your intention needs to be. And then a lot of the depending on the region in Mexico, a lot of the temazcaleros ask you to do prayers with them, sing chants with them, and then, you know, or they ask you to release certain things for healing purposes as well. And then there's another type of temazcal, which is something that you built yourself with the assistance of the temazcalero, whoever's in charge of it. And it's pretty much making sure that you're building the womb of the mother, and then building the temazcal itself represents the womb, okay, of the mother. And then we're setting the intentions when we're building it. We're focusing on what it is that we want to heal, and we're focusing on miracles happening, you know, afterwards, and all that beautiful, beautiful stuff. So yes, I've been in those. For Native Americans here in the United States, I have not been. I believe that in their tradition, it's very sacred in the way that they only invite those who they know for a very long time, or who are a part of the community. So it's very different types of thought forms when it comes to sweat lodges. Okay, hope that answers that. Hi, Misty. Hi, Brittany. George, Brittany, I used to run and jump into the bed. Yeah, when then you think that somebody's underneath your bed is gonna pull you under. I swear, adults are the worst. Like, when you're a kid, you believe them because they're an adult. You trust them, right? So it's just like when you hear these stories about, oh, there's a monster underneath your bed, or the devil is hiding underneath your bed if you're naughty, if you get up in the middle of the night, the devil's gonna get you, or whatever. It's just like, what the hell kind of conditioning are they trying to do to us? You know, that's messed up. Yeah, it is a crazy energy, Lotus. Yeah, Emily, we are going to all get a break, you guys. But the sooner that we heal things, the sooner that we work internally regarding some things that we are actually seeing in society, especially in our, you know, even with our families, the sooner that we ask ourselves what's going on, like, for real, like, why am I still seeing this pattern? Why am I still focused on this? You know, as soon as we start doing that and having an internal dialogue with ourselves and going within, taking the time to actually ask these questions, the more we'll see an improvement outside of us. Okay, let's see. Yes, Miranda, they will see that because everybody is light. Everybody is creative force energy. Everybody initially is that. It's just the layers that we built in front of ourselves that not through our own cycles or our own experiences through our lifetime, that is hard for a lot of people to see that because of all of those layers, and even the actions or the words that are being said. It's hard for us to understand, where, okay, this person is acting this way or saying these words is because X, Y, and Z was what's going on in their life, or they have unhealed wounds, or they, stuff like that. So it's definitely about taking a step back and analyzing that, but also making sure that we are accountable for our own words and actions too. So if we see something that's going on that we're like, definitely that's fear mongering, that's messed up, that's not healthy for the community to be exposed to, we need to be able to tell people, hey, I've been through something like that, and this is what I did to get myself out of it, and this is what I'm doing to heal myself from it. Okay. Yeah, we do need to establish boundaries too, because it is up to us to heal ourselves. It is up to us to be ultimately our own guides. Okay. Valerie says, sometimes before I listen to the words, I feel the vibration. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not tapping into that. Not today, at least. Yeah, me too. Anytime there's a word that is like, it's kind of like this, where people have like a very eloquent way of explaining things. Like, they sound really smart, and then they sprinkle that with, here's a little bit of fear in the middle of the sentence, so people don't really catch it, but it's like a programming. It's the same thing with media. Okay, the mass media does the same thing, you guys. Oh my God, that's why I cannot watch the news. I cannot watch certain movies. Actually, a majority of movies I can't watch, because you see it being sprinkled here and there, and you don't catch it because they're being funny, or you don't catch it because, oh my God, it's a romantic movie, or stuff like that. It really plays with your emotions, and people like that are very good at manipulating situations to their favor. And so that is how and you feel like, whoa, what did they just say? And you're like, wait a minute, this was like really beautiful, love and light, and all of a sudden this fear word was jammed in there, and then again, beautiful, love and light. And so it's just like, you can't catch it unless you're watching for it, and so that's how it is. And like, now I just can't watch TV. I can't enjoy a movie because it has like a little bit of fear instilled, or like political agenda instilled in there, and I was just like, oh my God, come on, you guys. Let's see, Yvette said, when I first started energy work, I didn't worry about the negative energy stuff until I heard others talking about how you can let it in. But I have always felt as you say. Yeah, and it's true. You can only let it in if you need that experience to happen through your own creation or your own highlighting of it. Okay, that's definitely it. Yeah. Yeah, the corporations. Yep, the giants. Hi, Elizabeth. Yeah, an emotional terrorist. Yeah, that's what. I have like so many words that pop in my head. Like yesterday, I was talking to my friend Mike, and I was just like, oh, like here I am. What I said to him, it was pretty funny. I was like testing my Jesus, because there was a guy on his live that was really testy, like he was really very, very, very selfish and very rude. And I was like, he's testing my Jesus. He's testing it. And I was just like, I'm about to flip tables. I was just like, the weirdest words that just show up. And then another thing was like the truthing, because Facebook has this policy where you're being too truthful, guys. You know, you can't say that stuff. So it's like you're truthing too much, you guys. You're truthing too much. And then another one was what's my other one? I say a lot. You're spiriting too hard. For people who are very, very like aggressive in the way that they say things when it comes to spirituality, and they get to the point that they're so aggressive that they're offensive, you know. So it's like, you're spiriting too hard, man. Like, settle down. Adriana says division and separation tactics veiled with love and light. Yes, is exactly what's going on. It's like a sprinkle of this and then a sprinkle of misleading, and yeah, it's definitely what happens. Yeah, let's see. Janice says, just in the past week, I contacted my childhood bully. He apologized and still can't explain how I feel other than under a waterfall of blessings. And those child parts of me heal. I never in my wildest dreams did ever think that would happen. Yay! That's awesome, Janice. Yeah, you know, it just means so much to somebody, especially if they went through that as a kid, to at least receive an apology, because you're probably beating yourself up thinking that, oh my God, it was all my fault, or you know, maybe I got them upset and they lashed out at me and stuff like that. But it's actually not your fault. It's just something that they, again, haven't healed. All right. Yes, good job, Janice. I'm so happy for you. No, I have not ever taken ayahuasca. That's usually like a Peruvian or Amazonian thing, because I know in Brazil they do it as well. So I haven't gone there, so I haven't done it. I kind of feel kind of like, I don't know if I should or not. I don't know if I need it. But if you do want to do it, that's perfectly fine. That's your path. But I personally, I have reservations about it. I'm not sure if I need it or not. You know, it's a healing plant and it's a beautiful thing, but I don't know if I need to do that. Let's see. Cheryl, no, they don't have land claim issues in Mexico. No. They have cartel issues. I mean, not around the place that we were at, though. Like, it was really nice. It was really like outside of the known cities, and it's just when you go into places like that are small communities and are outside of like really big popular cities like Cancun or you know, all those like very heavily populated, you don't really see any of that stuff there. So it's a very different Mexico. Like, I mean, you still see like people trying to steal stuff, but you don't see like the fighting or the, you know, all that like murdering and, you know, all that stuff that you see in the actual cities. Especially the locations where the cartel is actually in charge of those cities and stuff. So where we went, San Luis Potosi, there is a vast desert that's about like, I think like a 2-hour drive from that city. And that's where you go. Matehuala is the small community that is around that desert area. And it, like I said, there's nothing like that I've ever experienced out there. It's very safe. All I could hear was like the goat herders. So you hear the goats with their little bells, and at night you hear the coyotes. All right. Lexi still runs up to the bed and jumps. All right. Valerie says, watching others with their ego trip has taught me there is a difference between stroking ego with appreciation for how far you have come versus stroking ego to feel superior to others, to try to appear bigger or better. A reminder to remain humble. Exactly. And that's exactly it. All of us might have fallen into an ego trap here and there, but we caught it. or we're catching it, you know. And it does take time to forgive ourselves for it, but as long as you catch it, you guys, then you know you could easily forgive yourself for it. And then of course with the spiritual sense of reality, we are supposed to be growing, right? We're not supposed to still be the same, you know, have the same philosophies that are outdated or limiting us, right? We're supposed to be growing towards an expansion, conscious awareness of our power and how we are connected in reality to everybody, you know, and to the universe and to creation and source, you know. And so when we have those ego trips where we believe that we're better, or we believe that somebody's road towards spirituality or towards growth is the wrong road, and we judge them because of it, or we say, oh, they're doing it wrong, they're spiritually wrong, then that's an ego trap right there. And we have to stop and analyze that, and we have to realize that we still hold within us a prejudice, a limiting belief that needs to be healed. Okay. And I've had the same thing, you guys. Like when I went to Mexico, I had like this sense of healing that I wanted to do. And then I learned a lot from my teacher, where he was saying, yeah, but everything that you're doing, everything that's happening around you, you created for yourself. And why did you create it? You got to ask yourself that. Why did you create that environment for yourself? Why did you create that that relationship? Why did you create your relationship with your parents? Why, you know, stuff like that. And so it's like he made sure that I was taking accountability for myself, for what I was thinking, my energies, as well as what people were mirroring to me, right? And so that was really like eye-opening even more. Like I already felt that, you know, but I had to do more. I had to do more inner work. And so when we did the whole thing, and we do a ceremony for the shamanic burial, where you bury yourself and you let go of everything, you know, you let go of all of your fear, you let go for healing purposes, you release that. And when we did that, it felt like everything was gone, like every single thing. I felt like it was like, I kind of laughed a little bit, because I was like, what's going on? Like, I don't know what this feeling, what is this? You know, like it feels familiar, but it feels strange at the same time, because it's like, I know what this feeling is, but all my entire life, I've been absorbing, you know, other people's pain, other people's suffering, assisting without even knowing that I was assisting. And so being absorbed into people's, you know, lives, that I've neglected to know exactly what this feeling that I had after that really was. And that is the void before creation, the void before you come to this life and you absorb through societal manipulation or programming, through your parents, everything, right? And so I was just like, this is like, I kind of laughed, and I was like, what's you know, like I laughed, kind of like I sounded like I was a crazy person, but I was doing it in my dome. I did it in my dome. I was laughing, and I was like, what the hell is this? And so I was just like, what is this? Like, I didn't know. And then so I started to write things down, and write down how I felt. And then I realized, oh my God, this is who I really am, without the interference, you know, without everybody else's life stuff, you know, and it's just like, wow. So that's why I do recommend doing these journeys, because you are out of technology. It's gone. You don't have anything that distracts you from learning who you really are, and feeling that energy of who you are. Right? So it's pretty awesome. Miranda. I'm sorry, that's funny. She said, can I have an order of knowledge with a side of fear, please? Girl, you so bad. Yes, Adriana, listen carefully. You will hear it. You'll hear, yep, you'll hear their veiled manipulation. Yes. Yeah. All right, you guys. Let's see, Miranda has, what do you think about helping your significant other or anyone with healing their triggers? My boyfriend has been angry with me a lot, so I've been trying to help him with how I triggered him and where it first came from. Well, that's exactly what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to assist them in asking themselves, where is this coming from? Because in truth and reality, we're mirrors to one another, right? And so the best method would be exactly what you're doing, is sitting with him and having an honest conversation about it, you know, where, okay, so you got angry at me for doing this. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why it's still happening, or maybe let's see where it's coming from, you know. And of course, you got to make sure that he's open to that too, you know, because there's sometimes that they'll be like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, no, not right now, you know, and just, you know, just let them have their peace. And, you know, eventually they'll come back, and when they're ready, you know, to talk about it. And just don't, we have to make sure that we don't place blame, you know, where we work with our words as well, where we ask questions, but we don't act or make them feel like guilty about it. Okay. All right. Linda says, I have felt and seen a lot of the manipulation. I refuse to let anyone's ego or fear mongering stop me from reaching my true self. We are all here to help for something so much bigger than ourselves. We should be a loving team, not a team of competition. We should always be humble and not try to keep others from their soul's growth. Exactly, Linda. Exactly. That's exactly what it is about, is acknowledging that people's roads are different. They don't have to be exactly like ours, because come on, like, who wants to be going to Mexico in the middle of the desert and sleeping on the ground and being bitten by ants? I mean, I was lucky enough not to get that. But there's some people that had to like clean their little domes, you know, because the ants were all over the place. And then who wants to go like, you know, wandering into the desert through the brush and stuff like that? Not a lot of people like that. Not a lot of people are good with being without technology, or being without, you know, plumbing, for example. Or not a lot of people are good with digging a human-sized hole so you could fit in and get buried in it, you know? So that's why it's like, I only recommend it for those who are really like wanting to do that. And to me, it was a vast experience. I would go back, definitely go back. But again, if you guys want that information, it's already pinned to the very top. It's the very top post on my business page. So if you guys want, you know, you can email Daniel directly, and he could tell you more information about it and all that good stuff. But yeah, you don't have to be like me. All right. Valerie says, love you so much, my favorite mentor. Don't tell Jax Atlantis. Oh, he already knows. Just kidding. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's toilet paper. Don't worry about that. There's toilet paper. I mean, there's water, but it's funny because a lot of people are like, oh my God, how can you do that? Because all this stuff, there's no plumbing and stuff like that. And I'm just like, my family comes from that. Like when I was little, we used to go visit them, you know, and some of them had like outhouses, no plumbing, you know, and then some of them, we had to boil water to bathe, you know, and stuff like that. And then like, and all that stuff. and it's just like, it just takes patience, you know. That's it. That you just have to be patient. You just can't just turn on a faucet and just be like, shower time, you know. No, you have to grab the water, and then go ahead and boil it. And well, the only thing that there is plumbing is for the water tanks. There's water tanks that are collected that he purchases for water purposes for people and stuff like that. And then it has like a little tube that comes out of it, and then you open the faucet, and that's where you you know, use it for boiling water for whatever means that you need it for. But it's pretty awesome. I like that because that's what I remember as a kid. You know, my mom going, well, my mom's family was more or less closer to a river in the Sierra Madre mountains. And so she would go down to the river and they'll collect water, and then they'll bring it back up and then boil it for us, and then we'll take a shower or a bath, you know, and then we will go to the river sometimes to just play in the water. You know, it was freezing cold, but we still wanted to go in there and swim. So yeah, it's really humbling. It's really nice going back to basics, you know, back to nature. And if you're into like nature, like camping and stuff like that, it's no different, you know, except the toilets don't flush. All right. Let's see. Valerie, no thanks. Drive me to the nearest city. I'll hold it for an hour. It actually, I think it is like the nearest Matehuala. I believe that's like an hour away. And there's a little village, like you could see it in the mountainside. I think that's like about, I would say 20 minutes from there. And it's like a tiny little village. And then, so yeah, no, he won't drive you to a city. What's the matter with you? So it's funny because when I went, it was really hot, and I'm coming from like really cold climates. And when I went, it was really hot, and I was like, oh, I wish it would rain. And then before I left, it rained. I was like, yay, rain! But then I regretted that too because it's got really muddy. So I was like, oh man. But yeah, it was a really nice experience, you guys. But you guys, come on. So for sure, you guys be mindful of what's going on. Make sure that we sit back and observe, and as well as understand that, hey, there's some things out there that need to be said, but don't say it in a way that it's gonna cause an issue for these people. You know, it's more of like being like sharing awareness of that is still going on in the community, but there's still people out there who are manipulating situations to their benefit because of fear of lack. That's pretty much what it is, guys. It's fear of lack, and then unhealed emotions regarding themselves and whatever it is that they went through. And stuff like that. So that's what it really ultimately is it's trying to create this community into an industry, and it's not supposed to be that way, okay? It's not supposed to be this big corporation. When it gets to that point, that's when we know all is lost. I'm just kidding. Not all is lost, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so thank you again for watching and for sharing and for being here, you guys, and for doing all the work that is required of you daily. You guys may think that you're not doing anything, but in truth and reality, you are helping by even being here in the physical reality. Your energy just helps, okay? It helps us all. But yeah, everything that we do, everything that we learn from one another is helping us grow ultimately. And that's the whole point, right? For us to grow and to be better versions of ourselves, or to remember who we really are, you know? All right, you guys. So Tina, yeah, perfect timing, Tina. Every time I'm like about to log off, you show up. Way to go. Just kidding, I love you. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'm hoping that we will do this more often. I'm thinking maybe once a week, go on here and talk to you guys about the energies. But if you guys are more interested in the shamanic teachings, there is, again, that pinned comment. So you guys can travel to Mexico to get your initiations on, you know. Or you can join me at my academy, and we're actually learning right now. We're in the middle of learning about animal guides and how to connect with them through our medicine wheel. And so if you guys are interested, I highly recommend that you join my academy. If you guys are interested in other esoteric knowledge, I highly recommend Jax Atlantis' academy, as well as Valerie Elizabeth's. I'm not sure how many people you have, how many things you have available for your academy. Sorry, guys. My phone is connected to my my Mac, and so it's doing that. Sorry. So I'm not sure, Valerie. Could you let them know later on, like in a comment, saying how many people you're going to be able to teach? But to me, it's wide open for everybody. Anybody who wants to. Oh my God! Sorry. I will call you back. So that's an indicator that I have to leave now. So again, you can follow the link to going to the retreat in Mexico that's pinned. Send Daniel an email, or you could come on my website, www.StariAri333.com. If you're interested in learning about the basics of shamanism and other esoteric knowledge, you could go to www.jaxatlantis.com for his. He's actually having a free lesson about lunar energies. It's coming up for the full moon, and I highly recommend that you guys subscribe to that because it's free and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a party up in there. Woo woo. But or you could ask Valerie Elizabeth about hers as well. Okay, I know there's other people who teaches academies and stuff like that, so I would definitely try to get to know their energy first. You're welcome, you guys. Thank you again for being here. I love you guys so much. And remember to follow your intuition. Always trust your gut first, okay, about anything, okay? I love you guys so much. Have a good night. Mwah. Bye.